Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. All right, those are the true names of the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, Yah meaning He, Hawa, meaning to exist or to be, because He is the all-powerful, all-knowing, all-seeing God, the only power. All right, and He is endowed that same power and authority to His Son, His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. All right, that's His true name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, His true name is Yahweh Shai. Yah meaning He, Hawa Shai meaning to deliver or to save, because that's exactly what He's coming back to do, to save His elect. All right, the chosen among the Israelites. All right, because we can't forget two parts shall be cut off and die. That's 2/3. It's roughly 66% of the nation of Israel. All right, though they be as the sand of the sea, as the scriptures say, a remnant shall return. A remnant is a small portion. All right, and this is who we're focused on. This is who we prophesy to, or we prophesy to the wind as well, and to those that don't want to listen. But the Lord has put us forth. All right, and so, hey, want to give double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, pushing the work in truth and in sincerity, who have the testimony of our Lord Yahweh Shai. That testimony is the spirit of prophecy. Prophecy meaning to say before. All right, and essentially that's what we do. We give you what's going to happen before it happens. And we've been telling you, all right, the scriptures tell you that there will be a new world order, right? You already got, all right, in Salaki over the weekend you had the UN, all right, hold a conference dealing with a pact for the future, all right? So I'm going to read an article on it, and in short, they basically want to give emergency powers to a certain group, the WHO, all right, to be able to set up task forces all over the world to ensure that their plans come to pass, all right, and those plans is to consolidate control, expand. It's an expansion of control, all right, but with a transhumanist twist, all right, by a, let me see, a technocratic order. All right, it's a video I did a few years back. All right, they just took it down. They just removed it because I mentioned that the WHO's real agenda is eugenics. All right, and that's plain. It's evident, you know. But now, you know, of course, you got the fact checkers coming out already. And what they're saying is what document claimed to be UN plan to run the world is forgery. All right, so these are the fact checkers, right? Fullfact.org says UN has not issued a directive to create a one world government, and the truth of the matter is we'll see. All right, and they're bluntly telling us in front of our faces, but of course they don't want us to believe what we're seeing, right? First and foremost, the scriptures say that Esau is going to form a new world order, a one world order. All right, and that's in Habakkuk 2. But I want to kind of get a good article because I seen a video on it on one of the some politician, you know, explaining, some Republicans explaining that, you know, this thing is, you know, pretty much set up to, you know, pretty much take over. All right. So let's see here. ABC News. UN nations endorse a pact for the future. So a pact, what the hell is a pact? All right. If you're not trying to start a new world order, what is a pact? An agreement between persons or parties. All right. So you're in agreement with each other. You're in treaty. All right. To do what? Right. For plans for the future. A plan or a pact for the future. Right. So you're in agreement for certain things in the future. And the body's leader says it must be more than talk. You see? All right. This is the full definition. This is the exact definition of conspire. All right. So moving on. United Nations, the UN General Assembly approved a blueprint Sunday to bring the world's increasingly divided nations together to tackle 21st century challenges from sea change and AI to escalating conflicts and increasing inequality and poverty. All right. I read a book a few years back, maybe 10, maybe 12 years ago. It's called Global Governance 2025. All right. And I might have to bring that book back out, but it's put up somewhere. And basically, it's a whole bunch of jargon on unilateral, unilateralism. Everyone uh, pretty much working the same guidelines and the same, you know, pushing policies to attack world problems and so on and so forth. But the main thing is global governance. It's globalization. All right. It's these nations creating a pact between each other. All right. And to say that there ain't, a new world order, well, that's just, you know, it's obvious that, somebody ain't telling the truth. So, all right. So, in order for them to tackle these things, right, they're going to have to employ certain restrictions in the world. All right. And that's what we've been telling you that. Okay. And they're going to bring somewhat of a severe law to the most minuscule things, like people not being able to grow food or create a garden in their own backyard. All right. Things that will really, really be strenuous on the just regular old folk. All right. Which now you're world citizens. Okay. And that's why, all right, what to prove that is what the digital IDs. All right. They're pushing for that as well. Okay. And they're doing that in every country. So how is it not a conspiracy to basically how is it not a conspiracy to create a new a one world order? All right, and when in fact unilaterally you're doing the same thing all the way across the board. Silence and free speech. Um, Arresting certain people who speak out against the establishment. All right. And hell, you're talking about UBI, Universal Basic Income, unilaterally. That is the agenda. All right. So what the hell are they talking about? All right. They really think people are dumb. They really think people are dumb, and people is going to fall for it. All right. But the main points I want to grab from this is that this is what this Jacob's trouble. All right. And this is definitely a path to that MOTB. And next thing you know, this thing is gonna pick up very, very fast. All right. It's gonna pick up very, very fast. Okay. I'm gonna read a little bit more. It says the 42-page Pact for the Future challenges leaders of the 193 UN member nations to turn promises into real actions that make a difference to the lives of the world's more than 8 billion people. We already know what you want to do with that 8 billion. You want to cut that number down. The pact was adopted at the opening of the 2-day summit of the future. All right, whenever rich people get together and talk about the future, you know something is not good. All right, for the rest of the people, it may be good for them, of course. Which actually, this is a good thing. Okay, when you really look at it, this is a very good thing. All right, because these moves, these strategic moves by these world governments, is going to lead us closer to our salvation. all right, and the closer to their own demise, all right. So as it's called by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, all right, who thanked leaders and diplomats for talking or taking the first steps in unlocking the door to a better future. We are to bring multilateralism back from the brink, right? He said, now it is our common destiny to walk through it that demands not just agreement but action. So they're on the action part. Okay, you know what that means? All right. That means they're going to expand their control through policy. All right, they're going to consolidate control through policy. Okay, and those policies, wait till you see them be employed. Wait till you see them be enacted, because we've been telling you that it's diabolical. All right, it's very diabolical because it's these policies are going to be presented by politicians who are going to be puppeteered by technocrats, scientists. All right, the world's smart people. Okay, and these people don't care too much about uh, I'll say the vast amount of people on the planet. They want to rid because for them it's sustainable. All right. All right. If you know, you know. Okay. So this right here. All right. Because the WHO is involved as well. All right. And they have a huge part to play in this. It says the UN chief challenged the leaders. All right. Implement the pact. Prioritize dialogue and negotiations. End wars tearing our world apart, from the Middle East to Ukraine and Sudan. Reform the powerful UN Security Council. Accelerate reforms of international financial system. What is that? Oh, wait a minute. Accelerate reforms. What is the reform? First and foremost, you got to read through what this devil be saying, man. All right? You got to read through what they say. You got to read between the lines, as Jake say, right? To convert into or restore to another and better form. What is that better form, first and foremost? We know what it is. You should know what it is, and that's the digital. That's CBDCs, central banking digital currencies, because it's more convenient, it's more efficient, and they've been showing you that. They've been during the time of the pandemic. That's what they've been doing, going cashless. What? Because they've been promoting it as more efficient, it stops the transmission of disease by touch. Remember that social distancing, that was one of the tenets of this whole thing that they're pushing. All right. So accelerate reforms of the international financial system. Ramp up a transition from fossil fuels. Listen to young people and include them in decision making, who they've been indoctrinating, by the way. Right? Re-educating these children. All right. And yeah, it's bad, man. It's really bad, because they're justifying their Georgia Guidestones. All right. It says the pact's fate was in question until the last moment. There was so much suspense that Guterres, if I'm saying that right, I know I'm not. It says had 3 prepared speeches: one for approval, one for rejection, and one if things weren't clear. UN spokesman Stephanie Dujarric said, "No one is happy with this pact," said Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Vershinin. The summit opened with him proposing amendments that would have significantly watered down the pact. Speaking on behalf of Africa's 54 nations, which opposed Russia's amendments, the Republic of Congo countered with a motion not to vote on the amendments. The motion was approved to applause. Russia only got support from Iran, Belarus, North Korea, Nicaragua, Sudan, and Syria. All right, Assembly President, and of course, as you can see, there's a divide. Even with them making plans for the future or making a pact for the future. All right, Assembly President Philemon Yang then put the pact to a vote and banged his gavel, signifying the consensus of all 193 UN member nations that was required for approval. Russia has made significant inroads in Africa in countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Central African Republic, and the continent's rejection of its amendments, along with Mexico, a major Latin American power, was seen as a blow to Moscow by some diplomats and observers. All right, and really, Salaki, really, okay, Salaki, really, the ones that's mainly opposing. Okay, now I want to say this is Babylon is the ones that's opposing. Russia is opposing Babylon, Slovakia. All right. So here, let me get down to the meat. Okay, talk of the future is dark. The Pact for the Future says world leaders are gathering at a time of profound global transformation, and it warns of rising catastrophic and existential risks that could tip people everywhere, all right, into a future of persistent crises and breakdown. And that's what we've been telling you because of the scriptures prophesy. Um, wars, rumors of wars, pestilence, famine, people being taken by the sword, friends against friends, all right, a divide in the household, so on and so forth. The scriptures have pointed these things out, all right, and it made it clear what was going to happen in our future. It says leaders are coming to the UN at a time of hope and opportunity to protect the needs and interests of present and future generations through actions in the Pact for the Future. The Pact includes 56 actions on issues, including eradicating poverty, UBI, Universal Basic Income, but you're going to have a digital ID, and you're going to have to opt into certain systems, okay, and give away your freedoms. That's what that's all about. Mitigating climate change. To mitigate, let's see what that means. All right. Having the effect of making something bad less severe, serious, or painful. All right. So mitigating sea change, achieving, right, and there's certain policies they're going to have to put in place. All right. And you look up the term decarbonization. All right, and those policies are going to involve human. It's going to involve restrictions on human consumption and human activity. All right, because they're going to say people are the problem. They're going to blame people. All right, just wait and see. Yeah, we're talking a good game. We'll see if we're full of it. Okay. We're gonna see if I'm just blowing smoke, I guess you could say. Achieving gender equality, promoting peace, and protecting civilians. Right. And it's not every civilian is ripe for this new world that they're creating. and reinvigorating the multilateral system to seize the opportunity of today and tomorrow. Secretary General Guterres singled out a number of key provisions in the Pact of the Future and two accompanying annexes: a global digital compact. See, I didn't make this shit up. They saying it right here. A global digital compact and declaration on future generation. All right. So what? They want to make the world digital. Digital IDs, digital payment systems. All right. So what? That's a step closer to the MOTB system. Okay. The pact commits world leaders to reform the 15-member Security Council to make it more reflective of today's world and redress the historical injustice against Africa, which has no permanent seat, and to address the underrepresentation of the Asia Pacific region and Latin America. It also represents the first agreed multilateral support for nuclear disarmament, all right, in more than a decade, right? Okay, but that ain't gonna happen. Okay, Guterres said it, and it commits to steps to prevent an arms race in outer space and to govern the use of lethal autonomous weapons. All right. See, and this is what's going to be at play. This is going to be the main thing that they ain't going to be able to control. All right, because the Lord is the one that's going to be controlling this aspect. And as we see, Esau, starting with Amalek, they want to lead the world in this whole shindig. Everybody is, hands down, everyone has decided on a new world order. All right, that they want a new world order, and Esau wants to be the head of it, particularly the Amalekites and Babylon. Okay, but what's happening is that these other countries don't agree, mainly Russia. They oppose it, them being the leaders of the new world, so to speak. All right, and so that's going to be a huge conflict. Okay, and that's scriptural. All right, first and foremost is judgment that's going to happen to Babylon the Great. All right, which is America. All right, and he's going to use these nations to rise up against this way, and the Lord has essentially awoken, despised our image, and now he's raising up the nations that are the dead heathen nations to come against this nation that he has raised up, and essentially was a golden cup in his hand, right? This is a global digital compact, includes the first truly universal agreement on the international governance of artificial intelligence, the UN chief said. All right, and that's a whole nother ball game right there. That's gonna be crazy. All right, said watch that movie Afraid. All right, it says the compact commits leaders to establish an independent international scientific panel in the United Nations to promote scientific understanding of AI and its risks and opportunities. It also commits the UN to initiate a global dialogue on AI governance. AI governance with all key players. See, and what we're seeing is what is possibility of them. This could be them giving life unto the image. All right, because that AI, it comes with it's already preset to think a certain type of way, to learn a certain type of way, right? Okay, and they're using AI for the provisions of their future. Okay, the PAC's actions also include measures to mount an immediate and coordinated response to complex shocks. So that's what's going to be happening, including pandemics. So this is for the foreseeable future. This is what they see. Guterres said, and it includes a groundbreaking commitment by governments to listen to young people and include them in decision making, which is dumb. All right, it's absolutely stupid. If these grown ass people can't figure it out, what makes you think these young children are going to figure it out? All right. The real reason is why they're using these children is because they indoctrinated them. All right. And they indoctrinated, and they don't see the world for what it really is. Okay. They indoctrinated them with this sea change, and these little minds are no better than Bill Gates. All right. As twice a child of hell. All right. As for human rights, Guterres said, in the face of a surge in misogyny and a rollback of women's reproductive rights, governments have explicitly committed to removing the legal, social, and economic barriers that prevent women and girls from fulfilling their potential in every sphere. Yeah, so I don't even want to speak on that too much, because really what they're going to do is start going after masculinity a lot more. All right. 18 months of negotiation on the pact were led by Germany and Namibia. Namibia. The Namibian president, Ngolo Mbumba, said leaders must leave the summit committed to a path toward peace. And the reason why they're using Africa, because they redeveloped Africa. They put a lot of money into Africa. All right. And so that they believe that these are going to be their main hubs. All right. Not one that leads it to an environmental catastrophe. Catastrophe. Stalaki. Widening inequality, global conflict and destruction, and the rise of dangerous technologies that threaten our security. And see, the same people that's talking about the dangers and all of these, they're the ones that generating the shit. These major corporations that they protect with policy, all right. They're the main problem. But anyway, I digress on that. I read enough. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. It's happening right in front of our face. It's very evident. It's very clear that the prophecies are taking place. All right. Okay. Wars, rumors of wars, one world order. All right. That's Revelations 13. And this is what they're pushing for. To have the same policies concerning, whether it be digital, whether it be whatever. All right, they're pushing for the same thing. All right, it says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. That's right. So it's the end is coming. These prophecies are coming. This is all leading to the end. All right. But before we get to the end, of course, we got the milestones, which are prophecies that we have to reach. One of those things is what? Jacob's trouble. Okay. This is going to be a heavy igniter of Jacob's trouble once they bring in these policies, because these policies, all right, they're going to be draconian policies. They're going to be very severe policies. All right. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Right. So this devil is not. He's not moving with a moral standard. I'll just say it like that. He's not moving for the betterment of all society. All right. They're pretty much at their most vilest right now. Okay. And they're going to employ certain things to hinder the process of, human longevity, I guess you could say. All right. In a preserved way of living. Okay. With this whole transhumanist, thing added to these policies. Okay. The world is not ran by government. The world is being ran by these psychopaths, man. These individuals who are very learned. They're highly intelligent, and they're highly malicious in nature. All right, their logic for humanity is it's absurd. It's unsustainable. It's sustainable for a few, but it's very unsustainable for the many. All right, but that goes into the planning of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and what He has planned. All right, yea, also because He transgressed by wine, as we see, His wine represents His philosophy, the policies that they employ, right? The logic behind the policies that they employ. All right, because truly in nature, His nature is diabolical. All right, cut off many to preserve a few, and when in reality you don't have to cut off many, you don't have to employ this you only live once attitude to the world, and that you can live and do whatever you want without, you know, without having a moral standpoint. It's absurd, and it's just going to bring more instability to the world, right? And this proves a new world order, right? Or one world order. It says neither keepeth at home, right? He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. And this is what we're seeing. All right, all these policy makers with suits, behind all of them suits, all right, there's major corporations who devastate this earth's the earth, all right, and deprives this earth of being replenished. All right, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what's happening. And that's what we're going to see being accelerated. All right. The expansion of control. All right. Everywhere you go, there's going to be digital based systems that you're going to have to opt into. You're going to have, there ain't going to be no paper currencies. Because real money is what? Resources. They're going to phase that out. Okay. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? Right? They're taking over land. They're taking over everything. Okay, and we're praying to the Lord and asking him how long. Because it's going to get to a point where we're going to be worn out because of their expansion. All right? And it says, and to him that ladeth himself with the clay. All right? Ibatyat is the word for clay. The Hebrew word for clay is ibatyat. And this is dealing with debt. Okay? And because this is what Esau is pretty much this is what he covered himself in. All right. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? These are the nations that's going to what? They're going to rise up against this place because, again, they're fighting for control. Yeah, they having these summons, but they're really fighting for control. Who's going to be the leader of the new school or the new world? All right. Okay, and they're trying to phase out the West. All right, that's why you see opposition from Russia and its allies. Okay, it says, in the wake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Right, you're gonna be a spoil. You're gonna be taken. Right, and because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. All right, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. All right. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high. And that's what's happening. All right. He's hoarded, taken everything so they can preserve themselves and set themselves on high. While really, them talking about abolishing poverty, they're not abolishing poverty. All right. They're going to force you into this, control, they're going to force people into slavery again, essentially. All right. It says, of the city and of all that dwell therein, woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may be set on, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. right? And that's what's happening. They want to be delivered. So what? They cutting off all these nations, all the people, and they're going to do it by way of this system that they're setting up. All right. Revelations 13 says it. Okay. He got what? Slacking. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, Revelations 13:15. That the image of the beast should both speak. Okay. And this is them employing their this philosophy on how the future world is supposed to be ran, with all its intricacies and all these different policies that's being set up. This image, this way of living, because the image of the beast goes back to Rome, but America is that the Western civilization is, which is mainly America, all right, but its influence, all right, is that image, okay, Slocky. It says, and because Slocky, it says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image, all right, of the beast should be killed, all right. And for another word for worship is to give credence to, reverence to, all right, to accept, all right, okay. So in what it says that Slocky, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, meaning to be cut off in any way. All right, it don't just mean they're gonna shoot you down or they're gonna stab you up. It means they're gonna cut you off by any means necessary. Okay, because this is all leading to what the scriptures is saying. Okay, and of course, we know the end game, end goal is the RFID. All right, Michael see it. Okay, and it's pointing as you can see, they're pointing to a digital system. So the hell with what fact checkers is talking about, So I wanted to just point that out, I always bring this one out, All right, it's lucky. 2nd Ezra 9:20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril, meaning dangers, because of the devices that were come into it. Now a device is an ideal, and this they're going to bring danger into the world. We haven't seen the worst of it yet. All right, we haven't seen the worst of it yet. Okay, when they bring these ideals to pass, when they push it as policy, then we're going to see more upheavals, and we're going to see more chaos in the world. We're going to see more crises, as we're seeing right now. Because one of their policies was what, with this whole immigration thing, all right, is to let the essentially the unlawful, all right, ones in society, all right, they're going to generate crises, and this we've been saying this for years, but the scriptures say it moreover, because scriptures talk about this place being taken down with violence, with much violence. All right, so I'm gonna have to close out. I'm only 3 hours away from having to go to work. I really want to kind of bring out more precepts, but maybe Lord willing, I can do that in another lesson where we can focus more on the precepts and apply it to the world that we live in, because prophecy shapes the world that we live in. All right, and without prophecy, we would be lost to where we're going. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, Akim, pushing the work and truth and necessary. Shalom.